Thursday Night Live with Bill Tucci.
Behold his mighty hand.
Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang.
Just want to manage expectations.
Moo! Bah!
This is the worst.
Hello, Old Bean. Hello, everyone out there. It's Thursday Night Live with Billy Tucci, with my esteemed colleague and editor, writer extraordinaire, president of Gemstone Publishing, Mr. J.C. Tex Vaughn. Hello, my friend.
Hola.
How are you? We were expecting a few more guests to pop in.
Your guest is as good as mine.
No, thank you. I can take these off. I got Debbie will be on her way up momentarily. Gary Cohn will be joining us, the writer of Shi Senriaku. I think old Blevins, I sent Blevins a little thing. Of course, Niall will be popping in. And I just want to say hello to everyone out there. Give me a second to say hello to everyone. All right, JC Vaughn, please.
I think that would be splendid.
Please. Tarks9, Dan Genovese, my Breaking Bread brother. Tarks9, Ruby Jade 90, Marcus Killigrew, my brother. What's up, Marcus? JC Vaughn's here. Hello.
I am.
Thank you. Glitch, good to see you. Chris is plays. Past Master Dan, always good to see you, my brother. Nicholas Gear, good to see you, pal. Spaceman. Spaceman's asking a question. We'll hit his question real quick. Hey, Billy, how much longer will she be in demand? Trying to budget to get this. Thanks. No, thank you, Spaceman. The Shi INDIEGOGO will be in demand at least for the end of this month. Debbie will be removing several of the limited edition perks because we've got to get our stretch goals printed. We've got to get all of those books printed. This book will be going to the printer. It's a damn San Diego, though, man. That week kills you. It's more than a week.
Yeah.
So it'll be going to the printer the last week in July, if not the first week in August. At the latest by Debbie's birthday, which is the 4th. And I wanted that book out to the printer, and then we'll start fulfilling. He said 2-3 weeks, so start fulfilling the end of August, early September.
I can't wait for that, man. This book's going to be glorious.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited. I have Ruff's Old Bean to send you for our secret project that's going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. Ooh. So I also have my San Diego Comic-Con exclusive I did. This is the cover to it, sneak peek. Oh, and there's another sneak peek with Nexus and Shi, but this is let me show it real quick. Is that okay, Old Bean?
Absolutely.
So what we'll be doing is the limited edition San Diego Comic-Con Barbie swimsuit Shi. It's going to be a special edition. I think there's 99 editions of them made, and it's going to be really cute, really summery, pink, Barbie-esque, right down my alley. But since I think that Barbie film is going to be huge when it opens up, I really do. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's going to be huge.
I don't think anything coming out of Hollywood is going to be huge.
Interesting take. I think certain things though might.
Do you know that the studio, Angel Studios, that did the TV series The Chosen, the streaming series about the life of Christ?
Okay.
Their new feature film,
right?
Which when Disney bought Fox, they yanked the funding for it. So the guy went and raised $5 million, made the movie. Jim Caviezel's in it, and it's about human trafficking. And it on July 4th, it did better box office than Indiana Jones.
My goodness. God.
So I've little faith in Hollywood. I want to have great Hollywood movies. Like last year we had Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, we did.
And later, and very soon we'll have Mission Impossible. So I guess it's either Tom Cruise or I don't go to the theater, which is really a ridiculous thing to say, but that's
no, is that terrible? Well, I think Margot Robbie is a Robbie. I guess Robbie. I think she's a movie star. I think that Barbie film is going to be huge. I really do.
Well, I am not, nothing against it. I just I just don't. I wonder.
Well, we got a lot of people here. Paulus Arts, Spaceman, I had mentioned you already, but why not mention you again? Jonas Olson, good to see you. The hair. See on O'Hare. Junkyard done. Joe Bernardo, good to see you. Aloha. What is up? So this is a fun night. Boy, this campaign is now bigger than the Senryaku campaign on Kickstarter. It surpassed it monetarily, and it's closing in on our first Shi.
Wait, hang on a second. You just said this campaign is bigger than Senryaku. This campaign is Senryaku.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sakura. Shi Sakura. Our last. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but I'm really digging the roughs for what I'll be doing all weekend, starting tomorrow for you.
I can't wait to see it. You realize it's been oodles of a long time since I got to play writer for Shi.
Yes,
since June end.
Yes, that's when it was the last time.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I haven't tossed out a line of dialogue or something like that since then.
Of course.
But I've been editor boy.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to
let me tell you, when you and Peros are clicking, there's not a lot for the editor to do except proof the PDFs, which is a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, well, the Shi Gate Crasher, I'm looking forward to seeing our friends in San Diego, recruiting some more creators, if you know what I'm saying, or characters, if you will. We're going to be doing a Shi Gate Crasher, and basically what the story is, that is Jeff and I. Jeff will be writing it. I'll be illustrating it. It's the next Shi original graphic novel, and I guess we're going to launch it end of September. Once we start fulfilling Senryaku Omnibus, we'll launch it. And it'll be it's literally, and I can say literally, I think at this point, Old Bean, it's Anna Ishikawa gets trapped in comic book time, and she's got to fight through the decades and the genres to get back home, all with the assistance of Gekepto, my original Shi character design, the original design I had for Shi. And I'm looking at this to be, and I like to say, to destroy all monsters of public domain and independent comic characters, bigger than the Shi Sideblade book that I did 27 years ago with Mark Silvestri and Gary Cohn wrote that.
It's going to be a fun story. It's going to be a bit of a romp, and at the same time, it may have a message or two.
I think it's going to have a message. Gate Crasher. So look forward to that. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to drawing Miss Fury again. I don't care. I'm going to throw some things out there. You wanted to, I understand you had a nice conversation with a Mr. Mike Barron, apparently.
I may have had a nice conversation with Mike Barron, and we may be having a character appear in this thing that people will not be expecting.
So fantastic. We do have a creator in the chat whose character will be making an appearance as well. I didn't see. Did I see that? Did I mention them?
If you didn't, I did.
Okay. Well, mention him again.
It would be Nicholas Gear.
Yes, I was just gonna say. It was a Nicholas Gear. That's a gorgeous character too. So
and the thing about this is, and I feel really strongly about it. That I wrote about this. Wow, in the Shi Fan Edition #1. How long ago is that, Billy?
1996. The Shi Fan Appreciation Edition?
No. The one
Shi Fan Your Magazine.
Fan.
I think it was 95.
All right, so it's 95, 96, somewhere in there.
San Diego of 95, it might have debuted. I think it was the first Shi on a cover of a magazine.
Now that San Diego 95 was that, but that wasn't. You weren't in the polybag then. That was like at least a year later.
Oh, forgive me.
But because we did 3 issues in the polybag, and so the great thing about this is that I've been on this bandwagon for this long, And it is, if you go out and create Shi or your own Shi or whatever character it is, and you do a decent job, not even the world's most spectacular job putting it together, and they sit you down at a convention at a table next to a really established creator, 95 or more % of us are very welcoming to the person that's next to us, regardless of whether they're a 30-year professional or the new guy. And it's very egalitarian. Yet in the movie business, let's say you make a nice movie, you have a good thing. Does that mean you're hanging out with Spielberg?
Right.
This is what comics are, man. And to me, one of the exciting things is, and I mentioned this to Nicholas in a message, that Relentless Tin Soldier is going to show up with some pretty heavy hitters. And why not? Billy, you're muted.
Niall Scala is sending me something. So instead of sitting there typing away, I like to let you talk. Hello, honey. Say hello.
Hello, Deborah.
Hello.
So Randy Howell, is this true? I didn't even check this all day. She Senryaku Omnibus is currently at 188,996. Oh my God. Let's break 200,000. That's when I did my little Daruma doll. See, like Bodhi Hara. And what this is a Daruma doll. Debbie loves these.
I can't stand them.
And what you do is that you have a goal. And when you have a goal, you blacken in the right eye. And then when that goal is fulfilled, you blacken in the left eye.
So in other words, your success comes at the point of blinding somebody. I get it.
Yeah. Thank you, Old Bean. Hang on. Well done.
What did he say?
He said our success comes at the point of blindness. Hey, want to sit here? Why don't you sit here so I can control? Sit your pretty little butt right there,
I
honey.
hate this chair. It's too big for me.
It's not too big for you.
How do you propose I get
Fat
it?
bottom girls make the world go round.
I don't have a fat bottom, and I'm too short for this.
Kid, hop up. That's the best part is watching you try to hop up.
Now the dog's.
Asha, get. You gotta let her
Be
out.
nice to her.
I
I
am.
just let her in.
Well, put her downstairs then, and then hop up here. Talk to me.
Hello. Is anybody on?
Yeah, we've got 83 people watching. Thank you guys right now. Please smash the
hey,
like.
James Sanchez. Who else is Nicholas Gear? How
See?
are you?
All our friends are here.
Is it? I think it's Gear, right? Yeah.
Yes. Lone Wolf.
Don Genovese.
Yeah,
Hello.
What's up, Dan?
Hello, Richie.
You got a bunch of people tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We're almost at $88,000 on. All right, you gotta get her out of here. She's
Just
killing me.
Relax. She's stuck.
Come on,
Come here.
you gotta get.
Well,
You
let
got
me get on this.
a 100-pound shepherd.
Sit. If you want to stay up here, you have to lay
She's
down.
not gonna sit. She's gonna
Down.
come back
Be quiet,
through there.
please. Down. Down.
Oh, so
Yeah,
professional.
Good girl. Stay.
So professional.
Why? Because I asked you to be quiet.
Now I'm going to run this video real quick, guys, and I want you to watch this video, and then we're going to get into Kickstarter and why I do that, why we do that, because I know there are some people out there that are not fans of one particular platform. We do two exclusive campaigns on both platforms, and we've been doing Kickstarter for what, 4 years now, and they've
longer than
has it. Well, this is our 10th Kickstarter, maybe 8th, 9th. I don't know. But
you want me to count?
No, it's okay. But the fans are there, and what we've learned, Old Bean, is that when we did the Shi Haikyō book, which is our second Shi book, we did it exclusively on Indiegogo for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then we just kept getting requests from Kickstarter backers. We that when you're going to put on Kickstarter, and we ran that campaign for another 3 weeks, and then we hit almost another $45,000 with 700 backers.
I remember it very well.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not telling her we're not doing Kickstarter.
Oh, so it's all up to me.
No, but you're the smart one.
It's not the smart
Give the
one.
people what they want.
We've said it from the moment we started. This is all about no fan left behind. We
Yes.
didn't like when we were excluded. We don't want to exclude anybody. It's really
Deb, you're absolutely right. One of the things about this is, this is all like passionate stuff for us and everything else like that. But we're trying to make livings doing this.
Right.
And why would we deliberately ignore any legitimate revenue stream?
absolutely.
Yep.
But it's not, again, it's not even, yes, that's a huge point. Obviously, we do have to pay our mortgage, and now
I've heard
we're going to have to put
heard you've
ourselves
gotta
through a
pay.
very expensive college, which I was not prepared for. I paid all these taxes in New York thinking my kid's going to go to a SUNY. Yay. And there's not a single SUNY with his major. So we're paying out-of-state school. But I digress. Aside from the financial part of it, it's, we're still around because of, you call them the fans, call them our followers, call them the YouTubers, call them whatever you want. But how do you leave half of them behind? You just don't. It's not the right thing to do.
No, it isn't. And worse is it makes no sense, because I was there when there were the huge lines and she was out selling Batman and things were crazy. I mean, and I remember, Billy, how crazy you thought that was. But the fact is, look at your peers and from that period, and the ones who have adjusted to the new marketplace are the ones that are still here. And that is not going around deliberately pissing off a bunch of people that would buy your product.
Exactly.
By pissing them off by excluding them. Nobody wants to be excluded.
Right.
We were
especially those who have been excluded,
right?
Like us.
We've been excluded. We know how bad it feels. Why would we want to do that to anyone who's been so good as to follow us? And Marcus, I did see your comment about how yes, there are some creators who have been banned on Kickstarter.
Yes,
and there's crap that goes on Indiegogo as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've learned that we're shadow banned.
Let's not address it. The bottom line is, it's an unfortunate symptom or an unfortunate result of the social media society that we live in right now, that anything electronic and anything on the internet, people like to wield a power sword, if you will. And, we really try to avoid that because it's not fun for anyone. So whatever we got to do, we'll do.
What's up, Sean? Well, what we can do right now is we can introduce the man of the hour.
Which man of the hour?
The author of Shi Senriaku.
Oh, that man
our
of the
great
hour.
friend, mentor, man about town, fencer, motorcyclist, adventurer, I guess, right? Professor. Ladies and gentlemen,
instructor in goat yoga.
The author of yoga master instructor. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of Shi Senriaku, who scribed what I have to say is the most beautiful Shi book that we've yet to publish. The one, the only, Mr. Gary Cohn. Hey
there.
Look how smooth you look there, Gary. Look how smooth you are.
Hard to
Why are you
live
so
with.
smooth?
I'm just
It's Tiny Gary.
Tiny Gary.
Put little Billy and Tiny Gary should have a little conversation. Look how small you are. You're like an Oompa Loompa. Look at him. Oompa Loompa Gary.
Hang on a second. Since we're showing off Gary's.
Uh-oh. He's going to come back with a toy, too.
Look, see, someone leaves the chair on every Billy stream.
Marcus, thank you for following us no matter what.
There's another Gary.
Where? What? Hang on.
You have a little Gary? Oh, my goodness.
That's a Gary action figure. JLU Gary, little fencer. He's got a sword. He's got a little heart on his sleeve.
Is that a rapier he's got? What does he got?
Yes, I would say it's something of a rapier. Yeah.
I'd say it's a rapier. Gary, good to see you, my friend.
You too. I just got back from a yoga class. I'm hardly a master, but I am a brand newly minted 71-year-old yoga teacher.
You need to teach us yoga, Gary.
Well, yes.
We need a little yoga in our lives.
Mini Gary will skewer you.
Mini Gary will skewer you. There's a mini Dan Mishkin too.
Is it really?
Yeah, and there's also a mini Ernie Cologne.
Will mini Dan Mishkin ride a bike across Long Island?
You keep asking. You set me up.
For those out there who may not be familiar with Gary Cohn, he wrote one of our favorite. I think I could say the same for you, Jeff. Favorite comic characters of all time, Blue Devil.
So well.
Yes, created Blue Devil with Dan
Make it-
Michigan and
make
created
it
Amethyst.
Very bigger.
There we go. There we go. You set me up so well. There's Dan Michigan, and there's his bicycle. You'll notice that he's considerably taller.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Yes, he is. So there's mini Dan Michigan and mini Gary Cohn ready to take on the world.
Does Dan have a goatee now? Because I don't think he had a goatee when I saw him last.
Dan still has a beard. So
I didn't know. Maybe he did. Maybe I'm just so self-absorbed I don't remember anything.
Yeah, Dan is a big bearded fellow.
Well, Gary, we have, and God bless, we have we have two exclusive campaigns running. One is our Shi Senriaku, the Kickstarter campaign, and we are right now approaching $88,000. Thank you guys so much. This book is really expensive to make, so we really appreciate this.
Ouch.
Especially what printing prices are. We got hit with another blind side with our printing charges because every week that this book is not at the printer, the price goes up, it seems.
Billy, Billy, in all seriousness, you're understating it, man. The amount that my printing bill for the price guide has gone up in 2 years is over 5% per month.
Wow. It's crazy. Crazy.
I guess I'd better get on those bios, huh?
Yes,
please, my friend. Yeah, Gary's.
Please,
Send me the next
pretty,
batch
pretty,
because I
pretty.
just want to be able. I want to do all the easy ones first. So
Excellent. Thank
send me
you.
the next batch. Send me all of them that need to be done, and then I'll go back to the somewhat tougher ones.
Yeah, and not only is Gary Cohn the writer of Shi Senriaku, he's also helping me out and taking over the bios because no one is sending me bios. None of my friends.
So
we're
making them up.
We're
We're going to be saying some pretty absurd things about people.
Yeah, I love the idea. We could just say like, Jay Lee landed in a spaceship in a cornfield in Kansas.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why not? They didn't send me he didn't send me his bio. I asked him.
They've been banished to the moon.
Want the real truth, not your fiction.
Gary, if this was the 90s, why we didn't do that, I don't know. I guess we were taking ourselves too seriously.
We were.
Because we were doing something special. And I'm so proud of this book. And Gary, I don't know if you remember, I was talking to someone and I found this piece of Jeff Darrow sent me a letter, a little note when his art came. And it says he's very sorry. He's 2 weeks behind. If I don't like it, I can send it back or he'll do another one for me. Jeff Darrow.
Yeah.
But it was April of 1995 that his art came in, and he was late on it because we used to do things so far ahead. And here's the thing: is that in April of 1994, she had just come out. I didn't even think we got paid by Diamond yet. But if you look at March of 1994 or February when you and I came up with this idea to do this book, I think a year before this book started coming together, I was 6 months behind in my rent. Right? I was so poor. I was struggling. But I was putting together this comic. I had yet to meet you, Gary. Peter Gutierrez was there with me. Barry Orkin was there. And we were just Debbie, of course, putting together this wonderful little comic book that launched, 100 issues. And now, it's 30 years later, almost here we are. And it just, when I watch that video, the promotional video, it really brings a tear to my eye because I think of where we were at that time and how, the gall of me to go and ask Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri and Frank Frazetta.
Yeah. And going down the list, who do you know that you can kind of
right. So
into this? Yeah,
I'm wondering, Gary, do you remember the germ of this idea, how it came about? Do you remember what
we were driving? We were in one whatever large thing you were driving at the time, and I don't remember what the mission was, but you said, we should do the art of war, and I said, there's something better, and it was better because it broke down better into a 36-piece, 12. The basic division of a comic book. where we'd be able to do 12, 12, and 12. And that was Senryaku, which the 36 stratagems, which I'm not sure why I just read that relatively recently, but I just read it relatively recently and said, this is all the things about how to screw up your enemies, how to deceive and misdirect and how to win your battles. And it was just so good that I passed a copy to you and you read it and you agreed. And that's where we went from. But that was where it was generated. You said The Art of War. I said, how about the 36 stratagems instead?
Yeah. And it's also a history lesson. I mean, we talk about the Spanish-American War,
I was in the doctoral program in U.S. history at the time, so all those stories were very, very sharp in my mind. So I told every history story I knew, and some of them are oversimplifications. Oh, something we must do. We must get the spelling of Queen Liliuokalani right this time, because in the original it's wrong. So,
you're gonna have to send that to me.
Yeah. So
send me the spelling of it and which stratagem is it, and I'll fix it, because I have Jason Odom, old Cap, did all the copy editing a second time or a third, to recheck everything.
Yeah,
and we're going to send those to Mindy. I'd like to send them to her next week, so she starts putting together all of the stratagems. Because what we're going to do is that now Gary's prose will all be on its own dedicated page, as opposed to the original Senryaku, where the art was covered up with caption boxes.
That was really hard to do, and the second and third were better.
Yeah,
but the first one was a little bit awkward. I got my copy too.
Oh, good. Yeah, mine's downstairs. I've
been using it for the bios.
Okay.
but we placed them as strategically as we could, but it still never seemed quite right.
Right.
It's good.
Well, we got so much gorgeous artwork.
Right. And you're also you're right, Billy. You've got so much gorgeous artwork, and by their very nature, some of them are wordier than the others.
Right.
And the artwork wasn't done with that in mind.
I had a word limit, and I'm thinking it was 1,000 words. Might have been a little bit more, and one or two of them were cut. It forced me to cut to the bone and get to the essence of every story, which was very good. But one or two of them, particularly the Custer's Last Stand story, got cut a little too much. And I think you might have the revision that I did that added a little bit.
Yes, we used all the revisions is what we used to have those edited.
That's right, because we were going to do this about 15 years ago.
Yeah,
I had gone through the whole thing and done some revision. So
Old Cap went through them all 36 stratagems. The introductions are all done. The bio pages. So what's cool about the bio pages, and I'll scroll down here. I don't know if I have. I think I took Adam's image off because I was using it. I was using it for something else. But so here's Adam Hughes's original art that I think I bought. I'm sure I bought it from him. And that will get its own dedicated page. Facing that page will be Adam Hughes's color art, the full beautiful color without any caption boxes hindering it. And I mean, you look at this art, and it's like, oh, what were we thinking? Look what we were doing, covering it up. Yeah. But now you're going to see it all in its full glory as the artist originally intended it. The page prior to this, though, will be Adam Hughes's bio page, which will be a facing page to the actual stratagem. And there'll be a sketch by, Adam Hughes did a fantastic Shi commission to our buddy Scott Lamke, And Scott's gifted it to us to put it on the bio page. So there'll be a lot of artwork that's never been seen. I'd say 90% of the art in this book has never been seen in its full capacity. Yeah. Because the ones that were seen, some of the colored ones, they're going to be pure now. They'll be pure and clear because your prose will be on its own page. Mm-hmm. And I think that works out really nice. Some guys will, like Ray Lago, will have 3 pages. So Ray Lago will have his rough double page spread of his rough, a double page spread of his wash. He did a beautiful black and white, gray toned wash, and then his full color gouache painting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, I'm so proud of it. I just get so excited working on it. But it's a big book. It's a lot of work. And the cool thing too about this book is that this book is now just for the backers here. It's for $60. This book will either be $80 in the minimum or $99 or $100 book when it comes to it, because when we start pushing this through Diamond or in comic shops, things like that, bookstores, it's got to be that much because it's just so expensive to make.
Yeah.
But I'm insanely proud of it. We've unlocked a lot of stretch goals, Gary. I know you're a big fan of stretch goals. We're closing in on Jeff Smith, my buddies. Behind a Smile, Senryaku trading card, right? Hide a Sword, Behind a Smile, Gary. That was Jeff's strategy. I don't know if you remember the story for that one in particular.
I don't, but I've got it right here.
It's only been 27 years.
By the way, Debbie, it's really good to see you. It's been a long time.
Likewise, my friend.
So we unlocked a bunch of stretch goals, and guys, the Indiegogo backers and the Kickstarter backers all benefit from each other's campaign unlocking a book. So right now, everyone's going to get the book is oversized. So it's a traditional comic book size. Now it's going to be oversized, as people may know it as Marvel size.
The Marvel Omnibus
massive,
size.
over 10 by 7 inches. Then everyone we unlocked also the Frank
11 and change.
11 and change. Oh,
over 7.
Yes.
I needed the 12-inch boxes. That's why.
Okay. So the Frank Frazetta dust jacket. So everyone will get the Immortal Frank Frazetta cover once again. Even those getting the metal editions will get their dust jacket too.
Oh, I like this one. This is shall I read this one?
Please.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hide a sword in a smile. Sometimes my grandfather was like a small boy playing with toys. He especially loved to construct plastic models and would spend hours meticulously researching the details of ships and airplanes and automobiles before carefully building and accurately painting miniature versions of the originals. I left the convent school at 15 to attend public school. One day, when I returned from kendo practice at my school, he invited me into his workshop to show me his current project, a ship model over 2 feet long, painted black. It was an odd vessel with paddle wheels on its sides, 2 tall smokestacks, and a complete set of sails, which Yoshitora was carefully rigging as I entered. There, he said, all finished. It's beautiful, grandfather, but are you certain it's complete? I asked, indicating a pile of little plastic cannon that lay beside the model. Clearly, they belonged to the ship, and yet he had not glued them in place. Shouldn't you attach the guns? Oh, no. This is the I read the book for him. The Susquehanna, I pronounced. It says here that this was Commodore Perry's flagship when the Americans came to Japan in 1854. Yes, he agreed. And so, no guns. They put them ashore under a shed while these fine Americans and their fine ships lay at anchor in Tokyo Harbor. That way, no one could think they had warlike intentions. All they wanted was our friendship and for Japan to join the community of nations, to break over 250 years of isolation and allow unrestricted trade with the West. Oh, they brought such wonderful gifts. They even set up a miniature steam locomotive and tracks, and the great samurai of the shogun's court laughed with delight as they rode around and around on the little cars. So the shogun wished that he could turn their own guns upon them and drive the Americans away forever. Why did they do just that? I wondered. The Americans were foolish to give up their weapons and leave themselves so vulnerable. Not so, Yoshitora corrected. When these new such good friends of Japan gave up their guns so willingly, they ensured their invulnerability. For in this way, they told us that these were things of no great value to them, that they could bring many more guns here, in many more great black ships. Against such power, what could Japan do except return their smiles and let them have their way?
Outstanding.
So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a great one. And again, great history lesson. So basically what Senryaku is, guys, is it's Anna's life lessons. Anna's learning life lessons from her grandfather about the 36 stratagems of the art of war and how it was used in history and how she could use it. And it's got a lot of charm, a lot of knowledge, buddy. I mean, you knocked it out of the park. And I think you were nominated for an Eisner for it. I think we were nominated for Best Collected Edition.
So you keep saying.
I think so. We didn't win it, but
it was nice to have the nomination.
It's sure. It's just yes.
It's always an honor.
Always yes. And they had, but we didn't go to that one. So what a cool story. Again, unlocking all these stretch goals. We've unlocked a Sonin satin bookmark again. That we have. We get a gold foil and spot gloss, just like the last omnibus edition. You've got a Joe Jusko, Joe's beautiful art, mini print by Joe Jusko. Jim Lee's Pure Art trading card, where you see Jim Lee's art for the first time in black and white. Jeff Darrow's Pure Art trading card, same with Jeff's art. Adam Hughes's piece, but Adam Hughes's piece will be that really beautiful and really adorable commission he did for Scott Lamke, which I think would be a fantastic cover, actually. You've also unlocked the Jay Lee original Senryaku art trading card. You're closing in, well, all right. You really INDIEGOGO backers unlocked it. So everyone's getting the Jeff Smith Senryaku Behind the Smile trading card. And Debbie's favorite, everyone's getting the Crusade Comics Shield sewn on patch.
Oh, nice. I want one of those.
Patch. Big. Nice and big.
You know, as you run through that list of names, these people were a big deal then, but holy goosh. I mean, look who we have there. I mean, look at what that gallery of artists have achieved since then too.
Yeah, and the thing, the interesting thing is how huge. I know it's so weird. Like comics right now is really like a pyramid, you know, comic creators. And there's at the very tippy top of the pyramid, there's maybe, what would you say, Jeff, 24 at most? Yeah. Top guys that
and really, and 24 might be really pushing it.
Yeah, maybe a dozen, maybe 30 that actually are superstars and could and actually can provide for their families on a single income making comics. The rest then spreads out to to everyone else. Back then, comics were huge. They were huge. You could pencil Guy Gardner, Warrior, right, for DC Comics and make a nice living and provide for your family.
Yeah, do that one book a month.
Because of royalties,
though. Royalties and the shops.
The page rate.
No, the page rate was still better though. Page rates suck now. They're even worse.
When I left DC, the last time I ever did work for DC, I think my page rate was $100 a page, and I remember talking to somebody fairly recently who's working now, and they say, "You got $100 a page?" That was 25 years ago. That was like, everything else has gone up and the page rate there has gone down.
Yeah. Yes, it has. It's terrible. Well, the numbers aren't there. Printing prices are so expensive.
Yeah.
With the way comic shops are and stuff it's tough because, they've got to stay in business, right? So Marvel will dump, for every 500 copies, you'll get this special variant. And it kind of forces these retailers to buy 500 copies of these books. And every retailer across the fruited plain still has a couple hundred copies of Captain Marvel #1 from when the film came out in 2018? Because they wanted that one special comic.
Yeah.
And we can get into the whole thing about, and not to bash anybody, but so don't. I'm not going to bash anyone in particular, but I'm going to count to 3 and say my piece.
It's a tough business.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is that there are people today, Gary, now, and Jeff, I think you can attest to this. When we got into comics, and still to this day, it's a privilege to make comics. It is an honor, and it is a godsend to be able to provide to raise a family, to make comics, to pay our bills. A lot of these new creators who come in, and I think it's our fault, people like us with our kids, raising our kids the way we did, that they've grown up in an entire society where everyone gets a trophy.
You know,
let me speak let me tell you what my theory, and if you disagree, I'd love to hear your point. But a lot of them, they feel they're entitled to make comics. They feel that they deserve to make a living making comics without putting in the work. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't seem to, they're standing on the shoulders of giants, and they really don't seem to be respecting those giants very much, if at all.
I can't talk to that because I don't know who's doing comics anymore. And I don't, all I can tell you is that the younger creators I've met at conventions seem to be and work at anybody.
We lost you.
We lost him. He's breaking up a little bit.
The younger creators I've met
Gary, you break it up a little bit. Your internet is going. He's down in a submarine. He's going down in a submarine. He's frozen. Gary, if you can hear me, come back. Sign off and come back in.
You know, one of the things about it is, you know,
Frozen Bald Guy, Jeff.
We don't want. I've been replaced as Frozen Bald Guy.
You've been replaced by Tiny Gary.
So, I love this name, Senator John Plutarski. That just makes me very, very happy.
Where is that? Where is that?
That just makes me very, very happy.
Thank you. Hang on. You get that one for that.
I got to say, here's the thing. You know, we've had long careers in this business, but other people, you know, have made some really big sacrifices to put out their books and do the things. And I don't want to act like that's not still going on. There are people who are absolutely committed to the craft and all that. And I don't want our generalization, which is correct, by the way. I don't want our generalization to overshadow the fact that there are some absolutely great creators out there doing great work.
Yeah.
And it's not about whether it appeals to me or not, but there's sort of the understanding of the craft, the understanding of the business does appear to be at a low to me.
Yeah. Well, at least those who are the most vocal on social media.
I don't even want to go there. I think that there are people who do act like they are entitled to it, and there are other people who just want to do comics because, you know, maybe they started writing like me, where this stuff had to get out of my head somehow.
Yeah.
You know, the great thing is I don't get into anybody's motivations. I don't care.
Yeah.
I only care about the results.
Ah, there he is.
I had to restart. Where were we?
About a lot of the new creators that you've met at shows seem very passionate and all.
They seem earnest. They seem passionate. They seem respectful. They seem to know my work and to know that I was somebody that they address without disdain. So that's, you know, I don't know the business at all anymore. I don't know anything about what's going on. I have people come up to me sometimes and say, "How do you break into comics?" And I tell them, I have no idea. I can tell you how to do it in 1980, though. And I know very well how to break into it in 1980. But now, no clue.
Yeah, it's you love comics. It's not the business, not so much. I guess that's my attitude.
Well, that's probably true of any business.
Yeah, but this is great through crowdfunding. Like, thank you. We got another backer. Our Indiegogo, our Kickstarter backers are right behind our Indiegogo backers.
Look at that.
We have 892 Indiegogo backers and 805 Kickstarter backers. That's not bad at all. Started more than a week later. But Deb, why do you tell them about the process now? What happens? What do you do now? What are you doing now?
I cry.
Hey, you can switch. We'll switch here.
Then when I'm done crying, we take a look at counts. We take a look at what we've offered and if there's any way to enhance it. As many of you know, Indiegogo, while the campaign itself has ended, remains in what they call in demand. Sometimes we'll get some requests and add things to the campaign while it's in demand, which is kind of a fun thing to reinvigorate people and help enhance their experience in what they're buying and what they would like. Yeah. See, it's not an easy chair, is it? You're having trouble too, and you're bigger than me.
Perfectly fine.
And then we start looking at who bought what and how many that we sold, and then we make our projections into how many of everything we need to make. And then I start putting together orders and talking to our suppliers. And we actually have a meeting with our printer tomorrow, hopefully, so that we can get our
specs. I need specs. Mindy needs specs.
Well, I'm sure he will give you and Mindy the specs, as well as get us scheduled for some press time as soon as we know when we'll have all the files, Gary.
Oh, it's not Gary's fault. I just asked him to do it the other day. Gary is doing yeoman's work, if you will. He's the prince of a man.
And then we start putting together a survey, and we've added Russell Cassidy to our team, who's been taking care of our surveys and doing a fantastic job of it. That is a job I absolutely despise and hate. So I'm so very grateful to have somebody else do that. And then we start with purchasing the not fun stuff. Like the average Shi campaign takes between 72 and 100 rolls of tape. So we have to buy tape. We have to figure out what size boxes we need, make sure we have the right boxes. And then we just wait for stuff to come in.
We rent the American Legion Hall out.
And yes, then we rent the American Legion Hall out to set up our fulfillment operation.
Get some good child labor.
I start looking through the ship station orders I shouldn't call them orders, packing lists, and getting everything organized and separated into files. I have a big file box with hanging folders in it. That this way, I know a lot of people like to get everything all together. So if we can do that, we do. If we can't, if somebody's pledged more than once and we can't ship them together, I have to kind of figure that out and make sure it's filed in the right spot. And and then eventually,
and then you have to answer texts and phone calls from me about how to do this stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about all the texts and emails that we get on top of all that. That's just a daily occurrence. Yeah. And I have to say, I really enjoy hearing from everybody.
Oh yeah.
So, and I stress all the time, if you're having trouble getting a pledge the way you want it to be, we don't have a lot of leeway, if you will, on Kickstarter, but there is something on Indiegogo called a secret perk. So I can basically design a perk for you if it's within the realm of what we're doing. And it's not going to totally wreak havoc on the fulfillment line, right?
Yeah. And then we'll call our friends to come in. Hopefully Soloff will come in again.
We just found a bunch of guys from Matthew's wrestling team that came in and helped us with Zombie Sama. A lot of them are not even on the wrestling team, but like one step removed. A lot of college kids came in.
Yeah.
And
did a great
job. They did a great job. They really did. We got
the youth, Gary. My goodness.
Yeah, we got 400 packages out in about I would say 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. And So
now we're waiting on Slowpoke.
Yeah, waiting on me, Jeff. So my goal is I got a $10. We got a $5 super chat. Hey,
Chris.
Hang on, let me put that in there.
Just
thank you so much, Evil One. I may be poor, but I'm backing this no matter what. Oh, thank God.
Sweet.
Thank my dad, because I'm broke trying to get my business started. Congrats. Love you, Billy and Deb. You too, buddy. And we know that when it's trying to start a business. Holy cow. And thank you, Dad, for helping out.
How many people are watching this? Do you have any sense of? Do you have anything that tells you how many people are watching us right now?
Right now we have 98 people watching. So
Wow.
please
Hi,
smash
everybody.
that like button, guys. Also go to the campaign if you can. Go to the Indiegogo. Go to the Kickstarter. And I'm going to play this video. I'm a big fan of it. Niall Scala put this together. Well done, Niall. Here we go. Hot dog. What do you have to address here?
I said there's some. So
Jerome?
Yeah.
So stoked for this. I own the original. Oh, Gary, he owns the original issues
Okay.
for this. But having this in an omnibus like the original series will be so helpful for rereading. Yes, and it's been Gary has rewritten a bunch of his original prose. It's more
the format's being remastered,
Yeah.
so it's going to, even though it's based on the original 3, it's going to be a totally different experience.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
Without going all George Lucas on it.
no, absolutely not. But it's really more like a writer and artist edition.
It is.
Because everyone gets their due. And again, the Gary's prose will all be together on a beautiful one sheet. And then the artist's art will be from roughs to convention sketches to the original black and white to then the full color. A lot of those had to be recolored because those files are gone. So Brian Miller came in from Hi-Fi Design and Wes Hartman came in and recolored. Literally the entire first issue had to be recolored.
We have wonderful, generous, talented friends in the industry. Thank the Lord.
Yep. Thank you. Absolutely.
Billy, there was in the chat at 7:36, W. Rose had a question that you guys should really answer.
All right. Let's see that.
So it's all the way back at 7:36 p.m.
Oh, no, you didn't. Sorry, my bad. There it is.
Here we go. Boom. Good. Deborah.
I want this add-on to the omnibus. Is the print? No, you get
Add a cover print.
You do choose it, but you choose it during the survey stage. So again, this is kind of a hiccup that we have with. Well, it's with backing in general, but specifically with Kickstarter, it's a little harder to give options. So that gets taken care of during the survey stage. So once you get your survey, it will ask you which print you would like. And if you would like to, if at that point you would like to add a second, you can.
But he wants to know if is it random or does he get to choose the image? Will
No,
you have them
I just
individually?
said he gets to choose it during.
Excellent.
Didn't I say that?
I
Did
don't
I
know.
not say that?
Well, thank you. And then Jeff Attea, what's up, Jeff? My boy. Billy, come visit us in Dallas. You know, I'm a huge fan of the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area.
We're waiting on an invitation.
And all of Texas, but until Jeff's mom invites me to crash over and spend a weekend, me and Deb, I have to wait for a Comic-Con to do it, you know? But who doesn't love it up there? Right, Jeff? Who doesn't love it there?
Crazy people.
Crazy people. I was there in January.
No, James, he does not.
Do I what?
Listen.
What? What are you talking about?
Deb, Billy doesn't listen from James Andrews.
Oh, yeah. But you guys are great. But thank you so much for this. I'm going to switch over. I know we have a lot of people watching our Indiegogo campaign, so I'm going to switch over to that too, and we'll share that a wee bit. Gary, you're fading.
Mike,
you frozen again?
Gary, you frozen again? Gary's frozen again.
You might have to pop out again, Gary. I apologize.
Yeah, Gary.
He might be coming back. Anyway, okay, so here's what I have to do now. This week, tomorrow, we have a meeting with our printer. I got my San Diego book cover done. That'll be going out, and we'll get that printed next week for San Diego Comic-Con. I will get you the roughs, Jeff, tomorrow. You and our other friend. Then I'll start on those two covers, get them done. Hopefully Monday evening, I'll have those covers done. Get them off to Brian's guy to get them off to someone, whoever is the colorist, to get them to color that, so we have them for San Diego. Then we'll be doing San Diego stuff for the most part. And then, of course, I'll read the Gate Crasher, the first 10 pages, and then I will, when we get back from San Diego, the week after San Diego, I'll be cleaning the house.
No,
and finishing
Gate Crasher,
Ashcan,
so that we can get the remainder of our
and get that out. Get that out by the end of August. And then in August, hello, Gary.
I need to accommodate.
And then in August, I will be, after I'm finished with the Gate Crasher Ashcan edition, we get that to press. I will be focusing completely on my commissions that I owe and get them all done in the month of August. Then for the month of September, Jeff and I will be, it won't take me all of August to do my commissions. Then in August and September, Jeff and I will be working on Gate Crasher and have all my art done. And then we're going to launch Gate Crasher sometime in October. And I want that book done by the time.
Be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of putting a lot of stuff.
I'll tell you how great the fans in your chat are, Billy.
How great? How great are they?
Since Al Capone went to In Demand, we haven't done anything.
Oh no.
Tonight, just during this chat, 2 more copies.
Hey, let me find the link to it. Hang on, let me find the link.
And Randy's and Marcus have both posted it, and it's not like it's not showing up there. But that's pretty cool. And the great thing is that, I'll probably ship them tomorrow because everything else is out for the campaign. Now, you want to know the killer's this. This is my favorite thing. Since we're always talking about shipping crap. Well, last Saturday, I sent a bunch of stuff media mail, and 1 package I sent priority mail. Guess what's not there yet?
The priority.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah. Lord.
I like the book very much, Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
I
A lot of
appreciate
fun. A lot of violence.
it. It really was.
It is easily the most violent thing I've ever written.
Bless you.
It's very therapeutic.
It's Al Capone. What do you want?
Yeah.
What's it supposed?
Al Capone is a vampire.
I mean, what's it supposed to be? A YA fantasy? No.
How could it not be violent?
Yeah,
It's no Twilight. There's no sparkling vampires.
No sparkly.
It's nice when they sparkle.
But vampires with Tommy guns, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, so it just and it's one of those things where the great thing about creator ownership is that You know, people can say you're crazy, but they can't stop you from doing it.
Right. You can do whatever damn thing you want.
That's right. And that's the joy of being an independent publisher, being a self-publisher, because the world is our oyster. How's that?
Your only masters are your fans.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool
Well,
thing
our
is,
masters are the backers.
well, that's you said, the fans. And the cool thing is Gary, and hopefully you'll find this very soon, because I know you're planning your new creator-owned book. But gee whiz, you know, you've got another one in Demon Gun that screams crowdfunding.
Well, yeah, I know. I need to talk to Barry. The only reason to do it again, I think, would be to do a color version. I'm curious about how that book would look in color because it's so heavily inked and so much
Gary,
black and white. But
Gary, I'd like to say this. I don't think you should so quickly dismiss the black and white, as much as I want to see a color version of it. I think that seeing the black and white on a slightly larger format in nicer paper would be glorious.
Or taking a cue from you, maybe doing a color version with the black and white as part of the package.
Yeah,
you do a black and white edition and a color edition. You do a black line edition, pure line edition, call it something cool. And then you do your volcanic edition, which is full color.
Convince Barry that we want to do this, and I want to do it. Sure.
Well, I know Barry's working on Stoker and Wells now, but but he's getting some really good crowdfunding experience, and I'll see Steve Perros next week, and maybe he can help out because I know it's going to be tough for us. We're so behind we're cutting out one campaign this year. We wanted to launch 4, but we're not going to be able to do it. But next year we'll do 4 for sure.
Barry and I have talked about
next year.
Yeah.
We didn't start. Our first campaign wasn't launched until the end of March.
For reals? No.
For reals.
No, it ended in March. At the end of March, Hey, we're only one backer away from 1,700 total backers. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Randy.
Yes, Randy, we appreciate all the stats. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, yeah, let's share this. We're doing really good. Oh my gosh, campaign's doing good. Thank you guys for this. And this is a lot of fun. The cool thing about the Kickstarter, is that once this campaign ends, if there are Kickstarter backers out there, Kickstarter people out there, I know you're watching on Facebook too, on the Pop XP. In 3 hours, this campaign's done. It's closed. Indiegogo, on the other hand, the Indiegogo exclusive will remain in demand. What do you say? At least till August, right? Till we start fulfilling totally.
Yeah.
Then you freak out.
But
you'll have to take some
sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
You're gonna have to take some of the special perks off the list.
Right. Not only that, but once we always do the Kickstarter survey first because the Kickstarter survey is a little more necessary for Kickstarter. I mean the surveys are a little more necessary for Kickstarter, but because BackerKit went and bought CrowdOx, and BackerKit really doesn't always play nicely with Indiegogo. Once we are getting ready to launch the Indiegogo survey, we have to close down all the add-ons, and all adding on gets done in the survey stage instead of on Indiegogo.
I gotta say something about BackerKit. I've had no problem with BackerKit when you're paying the shipping up front, but some campaigns you don't pay it until they're ready to ship. I've never had it work right.
It's a hard thing first of all, it's very time consuming to set up. I
mean, like literally, like my credit card won't go through the same one I used for the campaign in BackerKit.
Right.
It's absolutely insane. So
that's why we always do the shipping ahead of time. But for whatever reason, the add-ons merge perfectly with Kickstarter, and because of it has something to do with Indiegogo's 10-day cancellation policy, which is a good policy, right? Everybody has 10 days to change their mind. But because of that gap, we cannot have add-ons live in Indiegogo when the survey is functioning. So that change will happen probably by the end of July. And a lot of it's going to depend on this meeting that we have tomorrow when we have an idea of what our printing turnaround is going to be.
Yeah, because Debbie wants to have a Thanksgiving and a Christmas this year.
Wouldn't that be nice?
And because our house looks like Kickstarter Indiegogo threw up all over our house, and for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and she is not a happy camper.
I have been grouchy every Christmas since we started crowdfunding because there's
off
always a campaign
and I'm like,
closing or shipping.
And I'm like, let's do another campaign. And she's like, no, Billy, stop.
Holiday.
There's a super chat from Ruby Jade.
I see that right now. Thank you, Ruby Jade 90. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Thank you.
And thank you for that. Look at this. You want to read it, honey? And
I back the everything tier. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I would love to add a sketch to the metal edition. Could that be possible during the survey stage? Ruby, you are not the only person to request this. If the person sitting on my right would get a little more caught up with commissions, we could do some more sketch levels. So yes, it is certainly a possibility. If not on the
message you. We should just message you.
If not on the campaign, if not on the survey, then possibly as an Indiegogo in-demand perk. So we are discussing it. They will probably be very limited, so we'll announce it during an update and, maybe 10 or 20, but, we won't be able to do much because that takes time away from his commissions.
Well, thank you for that. So I hope that answered that. You can always contact us too. Just message Debbie via the platform, and we'll take care of it for you. Do you want to let her out? Maybe she wants to go out or something.
No, she's lonely. She's not doing anything. I'm petting her. She's
okay. Yes, and Herrenberg, good to see you, buddy, and great seeing you, Herrenberg, in Garden State. You guys missed a great convention at Garden State Comic Fest.
It looked like a great dinner.
That was what you were going to?
That was the one that I was going to when we had lunch.
Okay, right.
And it took me over 3 hours to get there. And an hour and a half to get home Sunday morning when I left at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we are now be the 1700 backer. Thank you, of course, Herrenberg. It was great hanging out with him. We had such an incredible turnout for the Graham Nolan Hawaiian shirt and cigar night. And of course, Nick was there. It was so fun with Nick. And it was great. It was it's what a fun night. Graham and
it's become a nice tradition for
you guys. Yep. Graham, the two Falcone brothers, and I started that I think 10 years ago. It was just the four of us, and because Graham always wears Hawaiian shirts, we're like, we're gonna wear Hawaiian shirts, and we all showed up.
Didn't it start at Terrificon?
Yeah. And now there had to be 60 people out there. They had these fire pits. We're all just hanging out, and everyone's just like, drinking wine and drinking, smoking cigars, and it was a lot of fun. Some people had a little too much. They got the youngins couldn't handle their liquor. Not me. I was right as rain.
No,
of course you were.
Yes, I was.
When have you ever been right as rain?
Thank you.
Also, I did want to point out a great question in the chat from Mr. Dongs.
Mr. Dongs?
Got the air raid siren. I think you're going to speak, Jeff.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm muting myself because of the air raid siren.
Grab the chat quote from Mr. Dongs.
From Mr. Dongs.
Oh, okay. Mr. Dongs, yes. Right here? Okay, I apologize. No. Yes, I don't know. I don't watch this channel.
Not that one.
It's from Mr. Dongs, not to Mr. Dongs.
The one at 809.
Why do you watch this channel, Mr. Dongs? This is a great channel. Okay. So are the middle and bottom panel guy the same guy from two different camera angles?
I think the correct answer is no, we're just good friends.
Well, Mr. Dongs, you found a fan in me, buddy. I'll tell you that. Anyway, honey, anything you want to say?
Just thank you.
Yeah.
You guys never cease to humble us and fill our hearts and lives with so much gratitude. You know, I say it all the time that we would not be here without you guys. We would not have our mortgage paid without you guys. So the fact that many of you have been with Billy and Shi from the beginning, almost 30 years ago, is mind-boggling and wonderful. And I just am so grateful for all of you. I think my favorite part of fulfillment is just going through the list of names and how many of them I've seen time and time again, and how grateful I am for those people. And then the people whose names I've never seen before, and that every now and then we get somebody new. And it just means so much to us. I don't really know what else we can
It's
say.
amazing how you guys have changed our lives for the second time. That the first time, of course, when she first came out, and then this terrifying journey of going into crowdfunding and decide, not knowing if people would
We
remember.
were supposed to go into crowdfunding about 5 years before we did, because we were so petrified.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who are in comics and haven't done it yet and are thinking about it, we feel your pain. It is a daunting task, and it is a lot of work, but it's worth every little bit of it.
And it is absolutely a thing that you will get out of it what you put into it. And you guys
100%.
You guys put a tremendous amount into it.
100%.
Oh, as do you, my friend. And I got to play this.
No.
Yes, I got to.
No.
I don't think Gary's ever seen this.
Oh, everybody's seen it.
I don't know. Shush.
I don't know either. Well, the only way to find out.
Only way to find out. So we're speaking of, we're going to talk a little bit about Comic-Con in San Diego. Gary, did you ever see the video of me and Debbie at San Diego Comic-Con 1994? We got on NBC News in San Diego.
No, I have never seen this.
Oh, this is great.
Impossible, Gary.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Gary. I'm glad.
Impossible. Everybody's seen it. Many
Now
times.
I must see
I'm
this.
sure they have.
Has anyone seen that? Does anybody Comic-Con night? Yes. Does
James, whose side are you on?
Has anyone seen that? Well, let's show
I
it.
think
And then
it's really essential that I see this now. I think it's.
It is. It is, Gary.
It is.
Okay.
It's. All right. Are you ready? Here we go, boys.
Ooh.
From KNSD, Denise Yamada, Roland Smith, and Joe Lazaro Weather. KNSD First News at 4.
Roland Smith was a New York guy for a while.
Yep.
I'm Margaret Radford in for Denise Yamada. As Move Over Superman, it no longer takes a male superhero to knock down the enemy. We visited the San Diego Comic Convention today and found that more and more comic heroes have brawn, brains, and breath.
That's right.
The comic convention.
There's been a lot of echo.
Oh shit! Sorry. I hit the wrong thing. Hang on. I just wanted to pause it when she said "and breasts."
Well, that's what you get for screwing around.
KNSD First News at 4.
Oh, it happens.
Hello, everyone. I'm Margaret Radford in for Denise
Billy, we're
Yamada.
getting a lot of echo. We should mute.
Move Over Superman, it no longer takes a male superhero to knock down the enemy. We visited the San Diego Comic Convention today and found that more and more comic heroes have brawn, brains, and breath. The comic convention always draws a crowd. People can't wait to get their hands on Superman.
Yes, Anya. Karma every time.
And Shi. Shi? Her name means death in Japanese, and she's hot. But she's not a bimbo.
Look how cute you are.
But they cut out the question that they asked me, so really I'm just saying she's realistic.
Some people might dispute that, but the fact is,
Oh, there's me,
readers love
Peter.
her. And a growing number of fit and mighty don't mess with me powerhouses.
Oh yeah, I like tougher women, you know. I'm not explaining, like more independent type women.
The independence of them, that because they don't need a man to bring them through everything.
Lady Death certainly doesn't need a man to
Francisca
help her solve
Polito.
problems. In one obvious way, she stands out from the others.
Yeah, very well endowed. Very much so.
We hear everything from does Lady Death's back hurt, and all sorts of other rude things. But once they read the story, they realize that she's very cool and she's more than a breast. Or two breasts, or just one big huge one.
The stories are very well written, and they give them a brain and things that weren't there 20 years ago. But they still the sex is there because sex sells.
But their creators, nearly all men, deny practicing a sex sells strategy.
She does show skin, but I think tastefully. I mean, I'm going to keep the comic book tasteful.
Personally, that there's nothing more beautiful in the whole world than the female form.
Wonder Woman has kept her form for some 50-some years, but some things never change. Teen boys are the primary readers of comic books, and many don't really like girls.
I think that there is a little bit more acceptance for female heroes.
Do you hear that, Gary?
Yeah.
Like teenage boys, and many don't really like girls. It's an industry of homosexuals. The cat is out of the bag.
Than there was, but still it's not an equivalent balance. I think it's reflective of our readership and sometimes of our creative pool, still being primarily male.
Then again, Superman never had a swimsuit issue, and Lady Death does. The San Diego Comic Convention runs through Sunday at the San Diego Convention Center.
There you go.
What times, right, my friend? What times?
Can we never play that again?
No. Look how cute you are in that. She Comics, that's where you belong to. You were Debbie Steffens then. You weren't even Debbie Tucci then.
True story.
True story. We were babies, all of us. All of us, the Politos, and we were like this.
You look pretty young in that picture.
Yeah.
Video.
Well, Gary, I'm like 20 years older than you were when we met. I'm at least, I think I'm 15 years older than you are.
I was 44.
All right, so I'm 12 years older than you were when we met.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, I'm younger.
I'm a lot more than that older than I was when we met.
Yeah.
And a lot older than you were when we met.
Good times. But anyway, so for San Diego, if you guys saw that Francisca Polito is there also on the stage, we have a couple of panels. I have on Thursday morning, the IDW Comics for Ukraine a panel. We did a book called to benefit the refugees of the Ukrainian war. It's not a political book at all. It's just to raise money for all those refugees. So we have a panel, I think, at 10:30 on Thursday morning. Then Thursday evening at 5:30 is going to be a lot of fun. It's happy hour with the comic book couples. So it's going to be Debbie and I, Jimmy and Amanda, Brian Polito, his wife Francisca, Sarah Frazetta, and her husband Joe, and Jeff's moderated by Jeff Smith. And we'll be drinking. So if anyone's lucky enough to go to San Diego, come that night. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then we have with Jeff Vaughn, Old Bean, Sunday. I think it's Sunday at 11.
No.
You can't make it? You're out? You're Casper?
No, I'm
you're
leaving
gone?
Sunday morning. I told you.
Well, that's right. He's a blowhard anyway. You don't want to. No, so that's going to be the return. She, the Warrior, returns. It's going to be a She panel.
Quite a fun panel.
I guess I'll just get Kevin Smith to come in.
Even with the minimal attendance at San Diego last year, that was a fun panel.
Oh, it was a great panel. It was also that hopefully we'll get that panel.
Which panel had
Sundays.
minimal attendance?
Sunday. No, it was a big room too.
Yeah, it was.
There's 100 people in there.
There were more people there than I anticipated being there on a Sunday. So, and then don't forget, you also have Thursday at 11:30. You have the panel. For,
Comics Ukraine.
For Comics.
Yeah, I just said yes. So I did a 9-page. I think an 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9. I don't know. I think I did an 8-page Rocketeer story, where Cliff Secord, the Rocketeer, meets Ilyana. What's her name? Pelchenko. The Russian sniper with not Russian, Ukrainian sniper with the highest body count in World War II, and she was a female sniper. So we that's gonna be a fun, and that we will have the books. I spoke to Scott today, and he's hand delivering us our books. So
Billy will be doing a limited number of remarked or a limited number of remark editions of that book.
Yep.
At our booth. If anybody
Can I tell the story of how we tried to get Dave Stevens?
Yeah, because I wonder what happened with Dave, because everybody said yes.
I don't know, but here's how we courted him. My then girlfriend's stepfather had died. We were going through his stuff, and what did we find but an envelope with black and white photographs of Betty Page?
Oh,
because in the 1950s, she and other cheesecake models would go to events and be photographed by amateur photographers. And these were his photographs of Betty Page. Christmas hat and nothing else, Betty Page. So part of what we were doing to get artists to do this for us, we're sweet talking them. We were courting them.
Yeah.
And our approach to courting Dave Stevens was to take the best of these and send them to him as a gift, just from us, because we love you so much, Dave Stevens. And we got back a very nice letter thanking us very much for the gift, but no Senryaku.
Yeah, I think he said he couldn't do it. He was just too far behind, and he would screw us over with the deadlines.
Yes. So,
but pretty much everyone else. There was one artist who asked, and he was a popular artist, but not an A-lister, if you will. But he was pretty arrogant. And he had said, "Well, how much are you paying?" And I remember like Jim Lee's fee was $750. And I think Jim might have been the most, or pretty much we were paying everybody that, we knew it was going to be a big book. And I'm like, yeah, Dan Jurgens, coming off of Death of Superman, and Adam Hughes and Mark Silvestri, and
the big people, and George Perez. I mean,
yeah, Joe Jesko painted it for that much, I think.
Absolute top guns of the industry.
Yep. And then he goes, all right. He goes, yeah, I'll do it for $8. So he wanted to be the highest paid artist of it. I'm like, all right, let me get back to you. And then I'm like, yeah, we don't need him anyway. But here she is, Ludmila. Ludmila is the name of the book. Pavlichenko was a Ukrainian sniper in the Russian army in World War II who killed 309 enemy soldiers.
Wow. And
we refer to the invaders, to the Germans as the invaders, but we do talk about the Ukrainian, the Russian Ukrainian War of 1917 to 1920, where her father was killed in it. And he was a sniper who taught her how to shoot. So it's a great little story. And it's kind of funny of how, he runs out of fuel for the Cirrus X3.
In terms of confirmed kills, how does that stack up against Vasily Zaitsev?
I think she's got more than Zaitsev.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what his total was.
Thank you for all you do, Herrenberg.
Yeah, you're a beast, Herrenberg.
We appreciate you.
Totally appreciate. So let's revisit this campaign. Oh my God, we're almost at 89,000. Wow, we're closing it at $90,000. Guys, you guys are amazing. We're gonna go for another half hour, maybe. I'm also gonna talk a little San Diego stuff. I'm gonna show our special edition, which we're gonna for San Diego. Every San Diego, we do a special edition comic. Limit 99 editions? How many editions?
Usually 99.
Yeah, limited to 99 signed and numbered editions. And in the private chat I missed the private chat. Oh, you did. Okay, thank you. That book, let me I'm gonna remove this for now because we're getting closer. So what I'm doing here, I'll go full screen if you guys don't mind for a second. I'm gonna hog this. Okay, so here's our cover. It's going to be the Shi Art of War San Diego Comic-Con 25th anniversary edition.
In the Barbie bathing suit.
What's that?
The Barbie bathing suit.
Yes, that's what it's the Barbie logo.
And the Barbie logo. That's very
cute.
Yeah,
the Barbie logo, and we're going to have in the Mattel, we'll put like Crusade up here in the Mattel logo, and then we'll have the San Diego Comic-Con. It's so weird doing this backwards. Here, right there. But it's going to be in the pink, if you will. I'll show you the inspiration behind it. And let me do that. Share screen. Here she is. There we go. So we're gonna share. So if you look at Margot Robbie, so basically,
I have that Barbie doll.
I know you do. It's in the closet, I think, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun doing that. And Wes Hartman has it now, and Wes is gonna color it up. It's gonna be all pink, like she's standing in front of a Barbie box. So it's a lot of pinks and whites and.
What's that on the back?
That's my piece for Baltimore Comic Con.
Oh wow,
For the
beautiful!
auction.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. 99 editions. We're gonna launch it next week. Oops, what happened? Private chat.
Where will that be available, Billy?
Through www.billytucci.com. Through our store. So we will launch it. I guess maybe next Thursday Night Live will launch it. And only 99 of them. Signed numbered.
We'll also do some medals, and maybe I would like to do a couple jewels.
Jewels would be beautiful.
It would be pretty.
Do limited.
We could jewel up her sunglasses and her earrings and her choker.
Yeah, good idea.
I have some good ideas every now
Look at
and
you.
then.
Look at you. Good idea, honey.
So we have quite a bit to do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Is it numbered again? Yes, it's going to be numbered glitch. So the book will definitely the and it's gorgeous. And I guess the art will be for sale too.
See,
so some lucky person will get that. Though I think I know someone who's already going to want to buy it. Should let her know about it before.
There's the one word. When I get the one word, I know.
What's that?
Pretty.
Oh, okay.
And it's not pretty. It's pretty.
What is this? Herrenberg. Faith. Oh no, sorry. He was talking to someone else.
He was talking to Faith.
All right. So Gary, let's go back to our campaign real quick.
Okay.
And Gary, I know you're a very busy man. You got a lot going on, and you too, Old Bean. So thank you guys for joining us on this wonderful night. 811 backers. We're almost at $89,000. We got 3 hours left. This campaign closes for good at 11:59 p.m. Man, I might even go stream. Just do a little thank you stream live at that time.
You should.
And just thanks, guys. I guess we can go an hour and a half. I think gotta eat something.
Ask the people who are watching.
Yeah.
If they have questions. I know somebody asked about the prices, I think. So the limited numbered edition to 99 with the cardstock cover will probably be $27 or $30. And then the metal editions will be $135, and I'm not sure about jewel editions yet. It depends on how many jewels there are and if I can get the jewels in time, obviously. So
I like to sign it too, and one of them silver pen. You know, one of them cool pink paint pens you got. You bought some paint.
Well,
pens.
that's what we did for the Matt. And if anybody on the chat got our Matsuri limited edition from this, it was the springtime edition that we did. Just thoughts, because we only offered them signed. We did not offer them unsigned. So if anybody has an opinion, yay or nay about that, it would be helpful. Why?
Nice,
Now
nice.
what did
Funny,
I do?
just think it's no. I was thinking we forgot the we wanted to do challenge coins and we didn't do that. I think we
No, that's what
for San Diego.
No, we weren't going to do challenge coins for San Diego. There is a challenge coin challenge for San
tell everybody
Diego.
if anyoun's going to San Diego.
So
Tell them the challenge.
me and Billy just started talking about this, so I'm not exactly sure what it will be, but at San Diego Comic-Con only. So this is not anything that can happen digitally or through the website. If you come to our booth with one of our challenge coins, any of them, it can be the Tucci Troopers coin, the 25th anniversary coin, any of them. This one unfortunately won't be there, but won't be ready by then, but any of them. We will have a gift for you, a free gift, and you'll also get a discount on your on your purchases at the booth.
Yes, huzzah. Excellent.
So I don't know, many of you may, or some of you may remember we had a fan club way back. And the fan club had a membership card, and if you flashed your membership card at a booth, you got a 10% discount. So we kind of want to turn since it is a challenge coin and there should be some form of a challenge to the coin, I think I would like to start doing this at all of our shows. So depending on the response we get at San Diego, we'll see how it goes. I know, puppy. She's so bored.
I know. It's hot.
She can't go outside and she's just bored.
Jimmy Reyes Art. Jimmy, my brother, what's happening, Jimmy?
Hello.
Want to let you know that you're in our thoughts and our prayers, Jimmy, and all the best to a positive diagnosis and a speedy recovery, brother. Yeah, we love you, pal. We love you. Everyone loves Jimmy Reyes. So here we go. Yeah, Dragon Rage, guys. Jimmy Reyes has an Indiegogo right now. It's live. Please check out the description. It's a beautiful book. He's putting so much amazing work into it. It's literally one of the best books out there, most gorgeous books that I've seen. Crowdfunding, and holy crap, we got someone special in the background right now.
Oh,
someone here, the first man himself.
Oh my goodness,
the brother to Tiny Billy.
No.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and where'd Gary go?
He disappeared.
Well, Andy
That's
Smith.
okay. I'll take his place.
By another bald guy with a goatee.
Hello. That's right.
Hello.
Hello, Andy.
Where you been, brother?
How's it going? Doing good. Doing good. You know how it goes. Working away, toiling in the trenches day by day.
Day by day. How many pages you got left now? For core draft.
I think I start page 69 tomorrow. My favorite page, my favorite year. You know.
Is that the year you were born?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You a Met
I know what you
fan?
were thinking.
You a Met fan?
No. I'm not really a baseball guy, so.
You're obviously not a football guy either, though.
Oh. I know what you're saying.
Andy Smith, meet Gary Cohn. Gary Cohn, meet Andy Smith.
Andy, how are you? I like your
Good.
look. You got that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's good. I like that camera angle you have, way high up.
Oh, yeah. Top of my monitor. Hey,
Yeah.
Well, so Andy, we've had this discussion. We've had a lot of our friends in the past have gotten several certain crowdfunding platforms, namely this one. They had some big trouble with them. There was a regime there that wasn't necessarily the fairest to people. We missed all that. Thankfully, those people are all gone, and you could see that too because of all these fake campaigns that are coming up. Like these ersatz cyber fraud campaigns and stuff. Or I think even Aaron's, right? Didn't they do a Wraith of God? Someone did a Wraith of God campaign.
Yeah, they did that, and they did Rini too.
Yeah, they do. So they do these fake campaigns. So they'll do Aaron Lepresi's Wraith of God on Kickstarter. It's not Aaron Lepresi.
And that means they're taking Aaron's money.
Well, then you stop it.
Well,
they don't take it. They don't get anything.
Yeah.
But
the poor backers.
Yeah, it upsets the backers. But we've been doing Kickstarter for over 3 years now. 4 years now, I guess.
The dog found something.
Yeah, let's get her downstairs.
Come here, puppy. Come on, puppy girl. I know.
She's crazy, our dog.
She's not that crazy.
No, we love her. But she's just bored. But Kickstarter's always been really good to us. Even so much so, Gary, I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday in the arts department, in the art section, the entire art section, we were the feature campaign of the day.
Wow. Okay.
So I thought that was pretty great. Very happy with them. They've been very accommodating to us. They know who we are. We know who they are. And so hopefully, and again, if someone if someone does not want to support a particular campaign or promote on it or to fund through it, I totally agree with that decision because everyone's experiences are different. Ours.
Explain who Andy is.
Andy Smith, why don't you explain who you are yourself, Andy Smith, almost 30-year pro?
Did you say almost? I think you mean 32.
What?
32, buddy. I started in 91.
Wow, so you should know Gary Cohn. How come you guys don't know each other? Andy was a DC guy.
I know the name. Yeah, I started in '91, working for DC, then Marvel, then Image, Valiant, Acclaim, all over the place, and started doing the old crowdfunding thing. And what's it been? 3 years, I guess.
Okay.
And my newest book, Core Drat: The Reckoning, is little barbarian action. It's kind of like Conan being dumped into a Game of Thrones type world.
Oh, nice.
Along with a little Dungeons and Dragons type magic and stuff going on. So
Okay, good.
that is what
You're
I'm
writing
doing.
and drawing?
Gary Cohen.
A buddy of mine is working on it with me, co-writing
Okay.
and stuff. So
And Gary, of course, is the co-creator of Blue Devil with Dan Mishkin and Amethyst.
yeah. Oh, I know Blue Devil. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a great character? Gary's got a new character, actually. I don't know if you could talk about it at all.
A little bit, sure.
Sure. What's your new character, Gary, that
Yeah.
that you're working on? That
New, New Devil.
What is it?
New Devil. Because Blue Devil was not available to us anymore. And Paris and I, a number of years ago, started talking about doing some other devil that had the same spirit and movement and fun of Blue Devil, but was not Blue Devil, was in fact some other devil. And totally different, but exactly the same.
Well, there you go.
But the world, the frame, the context of the character is totally different. The look of the character is totally different. But at some point early in his becoming what he is, somebody says, "What are you, some kind of new devil?" Yes, he is. He is a new devil. So
Excellent. Yeah, I don't know if there's. Is DC doing anything with Blue Devil anymore?
they pop the character up every once in a while. He showed up in the Swamp Thing TV show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I saw that.
I'm sorry, Gary. Is Nude Devil?
That's a possibility, and I've seen that would be when Paris and I were working for Penthouse Comics. We might have done that.
But the cool thing is, you can do whatever you want now.
It's true, we could.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm working on. There's also Utterly Ridiculous Productions Inosaki's Samurai Pig, which I gave you guys copies of. That's
a beautiful book.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So
Yeah.
They're going to want to talk to you at some point about crowdfunding, because the first printing, which I think was 250 copies, that was like a test case, right?
Sure.
And now I think we're ready to try.
Gary, obviously, if you're involved, I expect that it's going to have good pacing, but it really did, and the art's beautiful.
Yeah, and Samurai gets killed by a Ronin gets killed by a warlord's men and wakes up in a totally different world where he is a pig, but the mission remains to protect the innocent. So, but he's a pig now. Everybody in the new world is some sort of anthropomorphized animal.
Does he have a taste for pork, if you know what I mean?
Actually, his love interest turned out to be a cat.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
He's just all stepped up.
Yeah. The species.
Could be a fox, like a kitsune, right?
They're all creatures of this world. And their character is embodied in the kind of creature they've been manifested as.
Gary, I've got a question. My first exposure to your work was I, Vampire.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I remember that.
Somebody had to write it.
because honestly, this is the guy who writes multiple vampire books talking. I wasn't into vampires at that point, and I only checked it out because of the Kaluta covers.
It wasn't Kaluta. Yeah, you're right. It was Kaluta. It was Frank. Who's our artist? Sutton. Tom Sutton.
Tom Sutton.
Who was much better than we deserved for those stories. Tom Sutton.
You know what's something? I gotta say this. Listen, I know the power of nostalgia, and I know you're my friend and everything else like that. But there was something really cool about those stories.
The best part of it, the mandate to kill him, and we were told to kill him so dead he could not possibly ever come back. Well, in comics, that's not possible. Somebody did, in fact, bring him back, but we tried our best, and wow, did we kill him? We had him dead, sitting conscious but dead, sitting in a chair, watching things go on that he had no power to control as he slowly decomposed. And finally, he becomes, sparkle dust and drifts off into nothingness, and he's gone. It couldn't possibly bring him back, and it was a good story. I'm not sure that the others were good stories. We were working with material that I thought was problematic in some ways. I had some uncertainty about the character, but we did do some stuff, and we had some fun with it, and it was a proving ground. It was one of the places where we started to get a feel of longer stories. The beauty of working for DC in those days was that you didn't have to write a 24-page story right away. And so you could start to work on 2-page stories and 4-page stories and 6-page stories. And then when you got a series where it was 12 pages per issue, that was incredible room to expand and play with. So it forced precision and it forced focus. I'll give you the Len Wein story. I would go into Len Wein with a stack of story ideas for House of Mystery, House of Secrets, and he'd go through it. Nah, I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that. And he'd stop with one. He'd say, I kind of like this. How many pages do you need to write this story? And I'd say 8. We can do the story in 8 pages, Len. And he'd say, good, give it to me in 5. Cut away all.
It's not like today. Some of these guys today would be like, I don't know, 140 pages.
Yeah. Cut it down to the bare bones essential. And that served me well when I was writing Senryaku, because I had the concept of writing lean, taut, get to the point, tell the story. Yes, Eternitine. Hi. I was one of the co-creators for Blue Devil. They, whatever DC, look at it this way. Anything that I didn't have my hand on with Amethyst or Blue Devil, that's Apocrypha, right? The true canon is anything that Dan Michigan and I had our hands on. And anything else, it's some other universe someplace.
I agree with that. Yeah, Gary, I remember when like just what Andy said. Oh, I love Blue Devil. That's the first thing I said to you. I don't know if you remember how we met, but when you
met at the movie store.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were doing a store signing in Queens, and this handsome gentleman walked in, and I think you were like, all right, let's see what these guys are doing.
You were just another kid working on a comic book, kind of drawn with, this way, and then I started looking at it. I said, wait a minute, this is good. How is this good? I took it home, and I think you've mentioned before, I covered it with a red pen.
Yeah, but Shi #1. Those were selling for like $20 at the time, and I'm like, well, here, take a look. And you gave it back, the copy I gave you.
He marked it up.
Every page, it's all red Sharpie or a grease pen or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and
I hope you still have that.
I do. Yeah, I think it's in my flat, and not my flat files, but my filing cabinet. I still have a filing cabinet or all my swipe files. Do you have that, Andy? Do you have?
I mean, I don't. Since we've moved so much, I don't have stuff like that anymore with Google and all that.
Yeah, you don't really need it. Mine's buried in the closet, so I can't even get to it.
Most of what I did was I cut verbiage. That's most of what I did, and that was my lesson.
What about the
Yeah.
Herrenberg has a question, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you created Amethyst too. It always seems like it would be perfect for a girls' cartoon. There were other gemstone heroines. How come it never got animated until 2013? Any idea?
Yeah, because DC was not able to make the deals. Simple as that. And I had no power to influence what they did or didn't do with the character that they owned. Simple as that.
Yep. Well, now you have control over New Devil.
I have control over New Devil. I have control over Demon Gun. I have control over Nemesis, Daughter of Night, that Ray Felix and I do together. When I worked for DC, though, the difference was when I worked for DC and when I worked for you too, when we made something, it was printed in tens of thousands of copies. Now, when I make something, it's printed in tens of copies.
Mm. Well, so are you saying that there's truth to the old adage that comics is a career that you could literally make hundreds of dollars off of?
Hundreds of dollars. That was my line. and you know, a long time ago, I predicted that it would start to become a cottage industry, and it's amazing that this is what's happened. It is.
Well, okay, so Andy, listen to this. What Gary told me in 1995 or 96. You're a fan of some musician. And this musician was when he had a newsletter. And what this musician would do, I don't remember who he was, but
Tom Rush.
Who?
Tom Rush.
Okay, Tom Rush. So what,
in Merrimack County. Tom Rush was the first guy I ever heard of who, when he was doing shows, had a mailing list and assembled a list of everybody who loved him. And then he started to reach out directly to them. And then he walked away from a major label, or maybe he lost his contract, and he started making records for his fan base. And I had never heard of anybody doing that before. And Tom Rush, even now, a man well into his 70s, continues to thrive with this business that he's built since the 1970s.
Yeah. And I remember you saying, and he does like one album a year or every other year, and he sends it out to here. You want to order that? You want to order it? Order it from me. And pressing his own albums and everything like that. Yep. Phenomenal, which is like what we're doing.
And the next person I heard of who did that, the next person I heard of who did that was Ani DeFranco with her Righteous Babe album, with her Righteous Babe label. And Ani DeFranco is really successful.
Gary, do you remember our plan that you and I were going to move to Mexico?
Yes, and drive up from
and produce one comic a year, one new Shi comic a year, 48
have
pages.
It printed in Mexico and load it into a truck and drive it up and sell it only in San Diego.
Only in San Diego. It's the only place you can get it.
We're going to live in Baja. We're going to live on a beach in Baja.
And they
now we have a friend who's basically doing just
yeah. Now Soloff is doing exactly that. So he's not bringing any gifts with him. But I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. We could move this when we broke up. They're like, we could move to Mexico, print this. Oh yeah, because you wouldn't like that idea. Anyway, and then we could print this comic, right? And it's cheaper to print in Mexico, and everyone will know. We'll take an ad out in Wizard magazine. Right. That the only way you can get this comic is to come to the San Diego Comic-Con.
You know, this sounds like a bizarre version of Shawshank.
Yeah, that's what it was like. Faith Thomas has a question for the panel, and Andy, maybe you could help this because you dove into the the creator-owned self-publishing thing. Question for the panel: I am a female working on her first comic book, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous. How did you ever get your nerves to attempt to try and make your first comic book? Excellent question, Andy.
I mean, I don't know if I'm good to answer that or not. I think you're better at it, even though, for you, she was, almost 30 years ago. Because for me, if we're talking about the whole crowdfunding thing, diving into that, I wasn't that nervous because I've already been drawing comics for 28, 29 years at the time. Mm-hmm. So it was just looking at basically going, okay, this is just not as simple as mindset as this is just another job, but that's how I approached it.
Yeah.
I was more nervous, putting pencil to blank DC paper for the first time when I, first started in the business than doing anything else.
I think that makes sense based on Andy's experience. I think, even though I've worked in the industry for a really long time, I'm, most people know me as the Overstreet guy, not as a creator. So I can answer that a little bit, and that's this. I got these ideas that gotta get out of my head. Might as well try and sell them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it just
I would talk to
they
you
got to
about
get
it
out.
tomorrow,
They got to get.
except
gotta
that
get
all
out
the damn
somewhere.
ideas keep coming up.
Yeah, and honestly, if you feel your calling is to create in this way, you have to try it.
Yeah, do it anyway. Be nervous. Be as nervous as you need to be, and do it anyway.
And nerves aren't a bad thing. I mean, nerves can actually help you out. It keeps you on your toes and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think?
So I wouldn't look at it like it's a bad thing either.
Yeah. What do you think as an observer when I was doing that when we were young and?
So you were more nervous, much like Andy, when you were submitting stories and doing submissions. You know, you'd call somebody or you'd reach out to somebody and they'd either give you a 3 or 5 page blurb to do, or you'd comment with your portfolio of some things that you'd done, and you were much more nervous about that. Once you decided to do your own thing, and I think, Faith, it's a decision, right? You decide this is what you want to do, and you do what you got to do to get it done. And that's basically how Billy was. And there was nothing that was going to stop him at that point. So when you're ready, you'll decide and it'll happen, and I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I'll offer a mantra to our correspondent. What is your name?
Faith.
Your name.
Excellent. Oh,
yeah.
Every time you feel daunted and nervous, just say to yourself, "My name is Faith," and have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
That's a
Billy.
great,
I got to run. I just
All
got
right,
the
brother.
link for the 9 o'clock. I'm going on. So.
All right, man. Have fun. I'll talk to you later, pal.
All right. Nice meeting you, Gary.
You too,
Bye, Andy.
Bye, Debbie. See you guys later.
Bye, Andy. All right, I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share the screen because something that I don't know if I was gonna cover his core draft on Indy. We've got a really cool perk here. The Kickstarter exclusive metal edition. It was recolored metallic print. Sorry, it's limited. It's recolored by Wes Hartman, where he made the traditional Senryaku of her standing before the moonlight. She's now standing, and it's sunny out, and he made the tiger white. And it's a beautiful.
So it's daytime and nighttime.
Yeah, I didn't really push that one that much. I should have.
Yeah,
that should have been a solo piece right
and
there.
Actually, they'll look really cool next to one another too, or one on top of another. Being that the background on the Kickstarter is daytime, and you get all the pretty colors, and the Indiegogo is nighttime, which you see up there, and the 2 different colors of the tiger.
Edging up toward 95.
Nice.
Look at that.
That was always one of my favorites.
And that's the one. So Annie DeFranco, is she from the DeFranco family? Is that a dude?
No, I don't know.
Actually fell off over time. There are tons of successful artist-owned indie record labels, though. Probably the best examples are Super Chunks, Merge Records, or Fugazi's Discord.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, guys, I want to thank you all for joining us. Going to end at 9 o'clock. We are now approaching $90,000. Guys, if you could do me a favor and share it on your social media for Debbie and I. Love all you guys, all your great support, your Indiegogo support, your Kickstarter support. You guys are fantastic. It's been an amazing 28 days for this campaign. Again, almost at $90,000, 814 backers, 3 hours to go. You guys are great. I think I'm going to pop on later on at I don't know, close to midnight and shut it down and just say thank you.
Billy,
yeah,
I got a question for you before we wrap up here. Can you check your email and get the image I just sent you?
Probably not.
But if you can't, that's okay. I'll talk.
Yeah,
I'm
over here at the Blevins Media Center.
You can't get it.
It'll take a day for you to get me.
Don't worry about it. I just want to say this. You're at 89,000 on this campaign, 89,169. This is really close to hitting 90,000, which would just be spectacular. It's already great. It's a testament to the work that you and Gary did on this book originally, and the fact that people know the caliber of art that is in this book, and that they're going to be getting to see so much stuff that they haven't seen before. And just if people will share it around in the next, well, it's still 3 hours.
Yeah.
We could hit that 90,000 pretty easy if people do that.
That would be huge.
Yes, please do. We truly appreciate
it. Would help
it.
me pay for the patch that I'm going to send all you guys. Anyway.
Yeah. But we'll get to there. I have faith in each and every one of you. Again, this is bigger than our last than the Shi Sakura campaign. Thank you guys so much. Starting with Shi Gate Crasher, I think we're going to reel back from the Japanese titles because it's confusing everyone. So we'll do Shi Gate Crasher, and then I guess Shi the Floating World will be the next book after that, which is the first installment of our next trilogy. So thank you guys for joining us. I don't know if you guys are up. I'll send you the link if you guys want to pop in later. If you guys are going to be up around
real quick,
a
couple of shouts out. Randy Howell and Harrenberg, thank you for all you did keeping everybody posted on the links and on the stats throughout the stream. That was really awesome of you. Thank you.
Yep, you guys are great. And again, thank you all for joining us. Glitch, Dan Genovese, Randy Howell, of course, Harrenberg. Man, Philbo, what's happening, bro? Stippling Vaughn, what's up, brother? TJ James.
Zach, who said hello to you earlier that we kind of missed. Zachary Moore.
Oh, Zachary Maroy. Thank you, my friend, Zach. Thanks so much, brother. Good to see you, man. Great hanging out with you in Jersey, too. So everyone have a great day. I'm going to go out with this. Get the camera blocked.
I'd just like to say thank you to Gary for showing up, having a goatee, glasses, a bald head, and a blue shirt.
Who can tell us apart?
Thank you both for being here and supporting us on our stream.
Yep, we love you guys.
We love you both very much. You're great friends of ours.
Yep,
we appreciate you.
Thank you. And I'll do the end screen, and we'll talk to you guys soon. I'll pop back in later on, like I said, maybe 11:30 or so.
Billy,
Thanks,
Billy, if I'm up, I'm on.
All right, I'll send it to you guys,
and
then we'll talk. Al Capone, Vampire Hunter, and stuff. We'll share some campaigns, and probably about 11:30. I'll pop in.
All right, cool.
All right, guys.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.